Hi, my name is Christina, and I wanted to do a quick video and talk to you about improv. What is improv? Why do we need improv? Can improv help me? Have I done it before? Would I like to do it in the future? So, improv, let's start with that. Improv is acting without a script. Improv is quick thinking. It's keeping you on your toes. It's a lot of yes, and. So in improv, we do not say no. All right? So whenever you're a partner, you really develop a lot of good teamwork in improv. So when your partner runs up to you on stage, because we do skits, and they tell you, oh my gosh, Jimmy, there are aliens outside, and I just can't decide, do I want to bake them cake or should we take them coffee? And if it's your turn, you wouldn't say, no, Bob, they're aliens and we're not going to talk to them, because then you just shut down your partner's whole plan, their whole idea. Improv is a lot of saying yes, and then adding and contributing to the story. So you would say, yes, Bob, I think, you know what? You make the cake and I'll make the coffee, and we'll get a banner and we're going to paint it and make it amazing. And we're going to go welcome those little green guys to our community the right way. And then Bob can turn around and respond back. Okay, so improv is a lot of yes and when you first start. And then you learn how to do it without actually saying yes and. So, there are not a lot of rules in improv. There are guidelines that help you make a scene better, but there's really no right or wrong. I could give two actors a scenario. Say I told them they were siblings and they did something wrong that they have to fix before their parents come home. I could hand that to two people and they come up with a whole thing. I could also hand it to two other people, and chances are they're going to come up with something totally different. Now, whose skit is right and whose skit's wrong? Neither. They're both right. As long as they say yes to their partner and they contribute to the story, then they are doing improv the right way. All right, so who's done improv? I have. Have you? Yeah, you have. Even if you don't think you have, you have. Because we do not script our lives. Technically, every conversation you've ever had is improv. It's actually when you read a script that you're acting. Improv is everything else. So you have totally improv before. Now, the cool fun thing about organized improv is that you can say some really cool, funny, off-the-wall stuff, and your class is going to go with it. They're not going to judge you. Improv is really fun because you can say pretty much anything within the guidelines. Okay, so let's get to the guidelines, right? So in a scene, in an improv scene, you want to tell a story. A good story has some major parts to it. You want to have a beginning. You want to have characters. You want to have the relationship between the characters. Okay, are they strangers? Is it a parent and a child? Is it siblings? Are they best friends? So you want to develop the partnership between the characters. You want to have a location because that's important. So, okay, say I started a scene, and hopefully you can see my hand, and I am doing this towards the floor. Boom, 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 boom. My partner is going to interpret that I'm dribbling a basketball. So the partner might come out and start the whole scene. Jillian, seriously, Dad said do not dribble the ball in the house. He doesn't care how dedicated you are to practice. Now you know that we're siblings, my partner and I, because they gave me that. They gave me my name as Jillian, and they said that we shared a dad, and they also gave us our location, which is in the house. So that's 3 huge things right there. The audience automatically knows who I am, what my name is, what I'm doing, where I am, and what my relationship is to my partner in the scene. Okay, so you want a beginning, right? A good story has a beginning. You want character development, location, and then you also want to add conflict. Conflict, that's fun. Okay, think of any movie, any play, any book you've ever seen, read, heard. There's always a conflict. Always, there has to be. Because if you just walked through somebody's everyday life, that's reality TV. But there's still conflicts. Sometimes they're tiny. Like, I stubbed my toe. That's still kind of a conflict, right? Or there's a test and I didn't study for it. Or it could be something as big as there's a tsunami coming, or a giant alien ship that's going to invade. Okay, that's conflict. So with conflict, you want to have some struggle, right, with your partner. You're going to go back and forth, but you need a resolution also. So you need to solve the conflict, and then you need to wrap it all up in a nice bow and end the scene. So there are long form versions of improv, and it does go for a long time, and they're really good. But in beginner improv, we want to keep it short. We want short scenes. We want it all kind of wrapped up and nice. So remember those things. Now, a huge thing in improv is to just go for it. Okay? A lot of times when you don't want that kind of attention on yourself, by saying no, you actually get more attention focused on you versus if you just go for it. So if I looked at a child in class and I said, hey, you're a monkey. Now, right now, you're a monkey. That child, especially if they've taken my class before, they'll be a monkey. They'll just start jumping around. And then I might point to the next one and say, hey, you're a chicken. Now, you guys are best friends. Monkey, chicken, and there's only one banana left and you both really want it. There's your conflict, okay? So it sounds silly. It sounds ridiculous. It's so much fun, though, and if you just kind of give in and let it be fun, it's so much fun. So our objective in the scene is to create that story and then to end it, because sometimes it goes too long, right? So you want to end it, okay? I'm trying to make sure I covered all of this things. So remember, do not say no. No shuts down your partner, and it creates a different kind of conflict that you are not looking for within the scene. You want to really pay attention to your partner, and you want to say yes and to their suggestions, because that keeps the scene rolling. It keeps your partnership good. It keeps everybody in a positive state. Improv is a lot about positivity. In a world that tells you no constantly, improv tells you yes. So it doesn't matter how silly your idea is. You can have confidence that your partner's going to say yeah and go with it. That's a lot of fun. It gives you a lot of freedom on stage. So, okay, a big thing I have to talk to a lot of my classes about is keeping it appropriate. So a lot of kids want to bring in like death and destruction and all of that. Where they're looking for the quick laugh. You might get the quick laugh with, hey, we just went around our whole circle of 15 kids and we're telling a story, right? And say we're telling a story about a unicorn, and the unicorn meets a princess, and they're going on an adventure to the dragon forest to retrieve an egg that will cure the king of whatever disease it is. Then we go through this whole story, right? And we get all the way to retrieving the egg. And the next person goes, and they die. What just happened? The character died, and you killed our whole story. You stopped the whole flow of it. So a lot of times when you bring like death into it, you literally kill the scene. So shock factor isn't really what you're going for. A lot of times the most funny scenes, the most funny witty humor comes in the everyday mundane things. Hey, Mom, why did you pack me a mayonnaise-only sandwich today? And she might come up with some ridiculous answer. I don't know, right? But those types of funny are usually go a lot further than shock factor funny. So there's a lot of things that help it run more smoothly. Now, improv is all about listening. Okay? Not only do you listen with your ears, you listen with your eyes, right? So listening to your partner is huge. It's a lot. So that opening sentence example that I gave a few minutes ago of Jillian, you're bouncing the ball in the house and Dad said that's not okay. If I turned around and said to my partner, we're at the gym and the coach told me to practice bouncing the ball, I totally ignored my partner's suggestion for the scene, and I changed it to what I wanted for the scene. That's not give and take. That's not good teamwork. What my proper response would have been was, yes, oh, you're right. Do you think he'll notice all the dirty marks all over the floor? Do you want to help me clean it? Okay, something like that. So you want to listen to your partner and you want to respond appropriately to the suggestion that they've given you. Okay, and you also have to listen with your eyes. Listening with your eyes means that you're paying attention to their body language. So if I walk onto stage, right, and my partner is crying, I'm not really going to run over and be like, oh my gosh, Amy, it's my birthday today. Aren't you so excited? Because obviously they're not excited. They're crying, right? So I don't want to just draw all the attention to myself. I want to pay attention and ask my partner, oh, Betty, are you okay? What's happening? You look really down today. And I want to address the emotion that person has given me. And then after she answers it, then I might say, hey, it's my birthday today. See, that's something to smile about. And that way, you still can get your ideas across. But whoever initiates the scene, you want to pay attention to body language and you really want to listen to the suggestion that they give. Okay. Let's see. What have I not talked about? Yep. So being a good partner. And I'll give you some examples of a few games. So in my beginning classes, I always like to start with introductions. So every kid can it's like a step out moment. It's really quick. It's really easy. We form a circle. And then you have to strike a pose and say your name. So I usually will go, Christina. And I get down on my knee and I'm like, excited, okay? So you don't have to do anything huge. You could be like, Christina, and be shy, but you have to do something. Improv is all about trying, putting forth that effort to try. So that's one of the biggest things we usually start with, and then we'll start with a different warm-up. Word ball is a good one. So you have an imaginary ball that you toss around the room. Eye contact is really big in a lot of improv scenes. You want to make good, solid, strong eye contact. So in word ball, we form a circle, and you start with a word. Can be any word. So say I want to throw the word chocolate. So I have my imaginary ball. I make good solid eye contact with whoever is in the circle with me, and I throw the word chocolate. Their job is to pay attention, know who I'm talking to, catch the ball, and pick a new word. Okay, what word pops into your mind when you hear chocolate? For you, it could be Snickers bar. It could be your dog, right? What if your dog's name is Chocolate and that literally is the first thing that pops into your mind? Or it could be ice cream, or it could be cake. It doesn't matter. It's just the fact that you catch it and then you word associate with the first word that pops into your mind and you throw that word to somebody else. Okay, so we would do a few rounds of that. Let's see. All right, and then a lot of times we'll do like we'll line up, have partners facing each other, and we'll do a suggestion and a response and a response. All right, so let's see. That would be, you're going to make good eye contact with your partner, and you're going to talk to them. So line A, Mike would walk over to the person in line B and say, "Hey, Sally, are you washing your cat in ketchup?" And Sally over here, line B, would start like rubbing her cat, pantomiming. Pantomime is whenever you act out things without words. So I pantomime dribbling a ball. Now I'm going to pantomime washing a cat in ketchup. And so Sally now, line B, might say, "Why, yes, Jim. She got sprayed by a skunk last night, and poor Miss Lily just smelled to high heaven. So what I did was I got on the Google, and the Google told me that ketchup would counteract the skunk smell. Now, what do you think? Do you think he smells better? Take a whiff." Now, line A, right, Jim? You have to go, "Yeah. Yes. I'll smell Miss Lily and make sure she smells better." So, oh, much better. You barely can smell the skunk. And oddly enough, now I'm hungry for French fries. Okay, so connection right there, right? We were talking about ketchup. You accepted the offer on both sides. And then you take it and you run with it somewhere else. Ketchup. Wow, who would have thought it, right? It goes all the way to French fries. So it's cute, it's fun, it's funny, and you just try. We play another game called Yes Let's. And that's when someone comes up and they might say, "Hey, guys, let's go fly a kite." And everybody responds with "Yes, let's." And then you pantomime, "Whoa," flying a kite. Or playing baseball, or knitting, whatever it is. You just put forth all your effort into pantomiming what you're doing. Another good example is, sorry, I'm using some notes. Silent scenes is a really good one to practice with that body language, that pantomime. I'll give you a few examples of, I would call two people up. And I would say, "Okay, you're best friends." I just gave you who you are, your character relationship. Okay, you're at the movies, your location. Now, here's your conflict. Someone is loud behind you, and a whole popcorn war breaks out. So my two people might come in, they'd sit together, they'd talk, act friendly, but they're not talking, it's more, okay? And then maybe they get quiet because the movie starts and they're watching the movie. And then maybe a few ugly glances behind them and look at each other like, ugh, because that person back there is being obnoxious. Imaginary Larry back there is just being loud and rude in the movie theater. So then maybe they take some popcorn and toss it back to Larry and pretend like it wasn't them. And then all of a sudden you get hit with the popcorn. What in the world? And it's a volley of popcorn and you're like down and then you start throwing it back. So that's an example, but it would all be done with no words and it's just silent partnering and acting. So much fun. So I encourage you to give improv a try. You do it every day, but when you do it in a improv setting, you get to really have a lot of fun. You get to be somebody else. You get to be confident, and your confidence really starts growing. And I used to hate talking in front of a crowd, especially if it was me. Now, acting on a stage was a little different because I'm not me. I'm a character. I'm somebody else. But getting up and being Christina on a stage was really hard for me. And I would fidget and do all the things. But when you learn improv, you can kind of see other sides of it. You gain a lot of confidence. It really helps with social anxiety. And you kind of are like, I can do this. It's not that big of a deal. Because in improv class, nobody's judging you. Nobody's looking to make fun of you or laugh at you or any of those things. you're all there on a level playing field, and it's so freeing and it's so much fun to just kind of let loose and to let all that filtering go. Say yes instead of hearing no all the time. No one's going to shoot down your idea. It's a yes situation, which is really, really nice. So, I'll confide in you. When I go on stage and I give talks, when I stand up in front of a huge room of people or a class full of people and everybody's looking at me, I'm usually not Christina. I mean, I'll do my name when I say it, but in my head, I'm like, I'm drama teacher Janet, and drama teacher Janet can do all the things. That's confidence. That's just getting up and going, hey, I can do this. I got this. It's not that big of a deal. So I believe in you. I think improv can vastly improve your listening skills, your eye contact skills, people skills, social skills, and also just give you that confidence boost that maybe you need. Gosh, we all need it. It feels really nice a lot of times to kind of go, I'm going to try it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go for it. So I encourage you to go for it, and I hope this video kind of gives you a little insight as to what improv is, what you could expect in improv class, and good luck. Break a leg, and have a good one.